The open road, freedom, adventure. For millions, RV life is the American dream on wheels. But what if it all came crashing down? New laws are sweeping across the nation, threatening to turn that dream into a nightmare. From boondocking bans to sky-high fees, RV enthusiasts are facing a crisis. Is this the end of RV life as we know it? Buckle up, because we're about to dive into the shocking truth about the future of RVing. The days of freely parking your RV in beautiful, remote locations might be coming to an end. New laws are popping up all over, putting the squeeze on boondocking and free camping. Public lands that once welcomed nomads with open arms are now off limits. Forests and BLM lands are plastered with no overnight camping signs. For full-time RVers, this is more than just an inconvenience. It's a major blow to their way of life. Many rely on these free spots to keep their travels affordable. Without them, the cost of RV living could skyrocket. Some areas are introducing permit systems, limiting the number of RVs allowed or the length of stays. Others are closing off entire regions to overnight camping. This shift is happening for various reasons. Overcrowding is a big one. As more people discover the joys of RV life, popular boondocking spots are getting overwhelmed. This leads to environmental damage, with some areas seeing trash buildup, soil erosion, and damage to local plant life. Local residents are also complaining about noise and privacy concerns when too many RVs set up camp near their homes. Take the case of Sedona, Arizona, for example. Once a haven for boondockers, the area has seen a dramatic increase in restrictions. The Forest Service has implemented a permit system and limited stays to just 14 days within a 30-day period. Similar stories are playing out across the country, from Florida's beaches to California's deserts. Remember the days when you could pull into a Walmart or Cracker Barrel for a quick snooze? Those days might be numbered. Cities and towns across the country are cracking down on overnight parking. New laws are forcing businesses to kick out RVers or face hefty fines. This isn't just about saving a few bucks on campground fees. For many RVers, these overnight parking spots are crucial for long trips or emergencies. They provide a safe place to rest when you're too tired to drive further or when unexpected issues arise. Imagine driving through the night, eyes heavy with fatigue, only to find that every place you thought you could stop for a few hours of sleep now has no overnight parking signs. Local governments are citing various reasons for these crackdowns. Safety concerns are a big one. They worry about crime and the potential for these parking lots to turn into unofficial campgrounds. There's also the issue of loitering, with some residents complaining about RVs that overstay their welcome. The impact of these changes is far-reaching. In Branson, Missouri, a popular tourist destination, the city council recently passed an ordinance banning overnight RV parking in commercial lots. This decision sent shockwaves through the RV community, as Branson was long considered an RV-friendly town. Similar stories are unfolding in communities across the nation, from coastal towns to mountain retreats. We all want to protect nature, right? But new environmental laws might make RV life a whole lot harder. Stricter rules on waste disposal, generator use, and emissions are coming. It's great for the planet, but it could mean costly upgrades for RV owners. Some areas are introducing limits on generator use, restricting hours or banning them altogether in certain locations. This can be a big problem for RVers who rely on generators for power, especially those with medical needs. Imagine being in a remote area, relying on your generator for critical medical equipment, only to find out you're not allowed to use it. Waste disposal is another hot topic. Some regions are tightening regulations on gray and black water dumping. This could mean more frequent stops at dump stations, which aren't always easy to find. In some areas, RVers are required to have larger holding tanks or even portable waste tanks to comply with new regulations. The push for cleaner air is also affecting RV life. Some states like California are considering stricter emission standards for RVs. This could mean expensive retrofits or even force some older RVs off the road entirely. The cost of compliance might be too high for many RV owners, potentially pushing them out of the lifestyle altogether. Now, zoning laws are also changing and not in favor of the RV crowd. Some local governments are making it tough to park RVs in residential areas. This affects not just travelers, but also people who live in their RVs full-time or use them as extra living space. In some towns, you can't even park your RV in your own driveway for more than a day or two. Imagine coming home from a trip and having to immediately find storage for your rig or risk getting a ticket at your own home. For full-time RVers who might be visiting family or friends, these laws could make it impossible to stay close to loved ones. Even worse, these zoning changes are putting the squeeze on RV parks and campgrounds. Some areas are restricting the development of new RV parks or forcing existing ones to close. This means fewer places to stay and higher prices when you do find a spot. We're seeing prices in popular areas double or even triple in just a few years. Take Hilton Head, South Carolina, for example, where local officials recently denied a proposal for a new RV resort, citing concerns about traffic and the impact on the local community. This decision came despite a growing demand for RV accommodations in the area. Similar stories are playing out across the country, with local residents often pushing back against new RV park developments. Okay, full-time RVers, brace yourselves. Your wallet might be in for a shock. New tax laws are on the horizon, and they're not looking good for the RV lifestyle. Some states are considering changes that could make it harder to claim your RV as a primary residence. This isn't just paperwork, it could mean a big hit to your bank account. Without the primary residence designation, RVers might lose out on important tax deductions. Things like mortgage interest on your RV loan or property taxes could no longer be deductible. For many full-timers, these deductions make a big difference in their annual tax bill. Some might even face higher property taxes or be forced to register their RV as a vehicle in multiple states. Imagine having to pay vehicle registration fees in every state you visit for more than a few weeks. The costs could add up quickly, eating into the savings that many people turn to RV life to enjoy. Take the hypothetical case of John and Mary, a retired couple who sold their house to live full-time in their RV. Under new tax laws being considered in their home state, they might lose thousands of dollars in deductions each year. This could force them to reconsider their nomadic lifestyle and potentially return to a traditional home. Even getting behind the wheel of your RV might become more complicated. There's talk of stricter licensing requirements for driving large RVs or towing trailers. Some states are considering special endorsements or even commercial-style licenses for larger rigs. Weight restrictions are getting tighter, too. This could mean some RVs won't be allowed on certain roads anymore at all. Imagine planning your dream trip only to find out your rig isn't welcome on the route you planned. These changes could force some RVers to downsize or face limited travel options. For new RVers, these requirements could be a significant barrier to entry. The cost and time investment of obtaining special licenses might deter some from ever starting their RV journey. And for those with larger rigs, the fear of being turned away from certain roads or areas could severely limit their travel plans. In some states, like Texas, there is discussion about requiring a special license for RVs over a certain weight. This could mean additional testing, fees, and renewal requirements for RV owners. While safety is the primary concern, and fair enough, these changes could significantly impact the accessibility of the RV lifestyle. Rising costs are another threat that are becoming a major issue for RVers. Campground fees and taxes are going through the roof. New laws and regulations are forcing campgrounds to charge more, and some RV parks are struggling to stay open. For many RVers, especially those on fixed incomes, these price hikes could make the lifestyle unaffordable. The days of budget-friendly RV travel might be coming to an end. Some popular destinations are seeing campground rates double or even triple in just a few years. These rising costs are pushing some RVers to seek out alternative camping options like membership campgrounds or work camping opportunities. But even these options are becoming more competitive and expensive. For some, the dream of retirement on the road is slipping away as the costs continue to climb. Consider the case of Yellowstone National Park, where campground fees have increased by 30% in the last 5 years. This trend is mirrored in many other popular destinations, making it increasingly difficult for budget-conscious RVers to visit these iconic locations. Insurance is another headache in the making. New laws could require more coverage or impose stricter standards on RV insurance. This means higher premiums and more hoops to jump through just to keep your rig on the road legally. Some states are considering mandatory liability coverage for RVs, even when they're not being driven. Others are looking at requiring separate policies for the RV itself and its contents. For some RVers, especially those with older models, the cost of insurance might become prohibitive. These changes could force some RVers off the road entirely. Others might have to cut back on their travels or switch to smaller, less expensive rigs, just to keep their insurance costs manageable. It's adding a layer of financial stress to what many hoped would be a carefree lifestyle. In Florida, for instance, new laws are being considered that would require RV owners to carry higher levels of liability insurance. This could mean an increase of hundreds or even thousands of dollars per year in insurance costs for some RV owners. I'm not being critical of any particular examples here, but your favorite RV destinations might not be as welcoming anymore. National parks and state parks are dealing with overcrowding by implementing stricter booking rules and shorter stay limits. Some are even considering banning RVs in certain areas altogether. The days of spontaneous trips to popular spots might be coming to an end because of this, replaced by a need for careful planning and early reservations. Some parks are introducing lottery systems for campsites, making it harder to secure a spot during peak seasons. These changes are pushing more RVers into less popular areas, which in turn leads to overcrowding in previously quiet spots. It's a domino effect that's changing the face of RV travel across the country. For many, the sense of freedom and spontaneity that drew them to RV life is being replaced by a need for meticulous planning and a willingness to explore off the beaten path. Yosemite National Park, for example, has implemented a lottery system for campsite reservations during peak months, and fairly so, but this system, while aimed at fairness, has made it significantly harder for RVers to secure spots in this iconic park. Similar systems are being considered in other popular destinations, potentially changing the way RVers plan their trips. Lastly, safety is always a top priority, but new laws could take it to the extreme. Stricter inspections, new tire laws, and mandatory safety features could force RV owners to make costly upgrades or repairs. Some states are considering annual safety inspections for RVs, similar to those required for commercial vehicles. Others are looking at mandatory new safety features like backup cameras or tire pressure monitoring systems on all RVs. While safety is important, obviously, these changes could price some people out of the RV lifestyle entirely. Older RVs might become too expensive to bring up to code, pushing more people towards newer, more expensive models. For many RV enthusiasts, particularly those with vintage or classic rigs, those new requirements could mean the end of the road. Literally. The safety push isn't just about the vehicles themselves. Some areas are implementing stricter rules about where RVs can park, citing concerns about fire hazards or emergency access. This could further limit the options for RVers, especially in urban or suburban areas. There's also a growing focus on personal safety, and with more people embracing the RV lifestyle, there's increased attention on security measures for campers. Some campgrounds are beefing up their security, which is great for peace of mind, but often comes with higher fees. In Colorado, for instance, there's discussion about implementing mandatory safety inspections for all RVs registered in the state. While this could improve overall safety, which is obviously amazing, it could also mean significant costs for RV owners, especially those with older models. All these changes are reshaping the RV landscape. While they're intended to make RV travel safer, they're also making it more complicated and expensive. Now, for some, the added peace of mind is worth the cost. But for others, it's one more reason to reconsider whether RV life is still right for them. As we navigate these new safety regulations, it's clear that the future of RVing will look different. Safer, yes, obviously, but also potentially less accessible to those who've long seen RVs as an affordable way to travel, explore, or it's a balancing act between safety and freedom, and right now the scales are tipping towards caution. It's not all doom and gloom. With every challenge comes opportunity, and the future of RV life is still wide open. Want to know what steps you can take to thrive in this changing landscape? Be sure to check out my next video for strategies and insights on how to adapt to these new laws and keep your RV dreams alive. Until then, stay adventurous, stay informed, and keep the wheels turning.